Hello everyone, it's Christine here and I'm back for our stitch along, and we're going to be doing a wound ribbon rose using silk embroidery ribbon. So I've got a length of about 50 centimetres, which is what the book says. I've also threaded up a regular needle with some regular cotton in a coordinating colour, which we'll be using later to anchor it in place. You'll also need another needle, which is what you'll be winding your ribbon around. So we'll start by bringing our ribbon through from the back about where we want the centre of the rose to be, and then I'm going to put a needle through the fabric just below where that is, with about a 3mm little nip of the fabric, if that makes sense. I'm then going to unthread my silk ribbon and we're going to start the process of winding. So the first thing it wants us to do is wrap the ribbon in a clockwise direction over the needle and then under the tip of the needle. So clockwise, over and under in this direction. And then it wants us to wrap in an anti-clockwise direction over the needle and under the needle eye, forming a figure 8. So we have to go this way and under to form a figure 8, like that. And then pack ribbon towards centre of spare needle. So we're going to pull it so it sort of comes back tightly around the centre. And then put one fold in ribbon. So I think it wants us to kind of fold it like that, although it doesn't sort of hold the folds like a crease or anything. And take the ribbon behind the tip of the needle in an anti-clockwise direction. The fold is on the right hand side. Keep ribbon loose so it lies flat. So I guess, yeah, keeping it loose so it lies flat like that and gets that little fold up the top. That seems to be how the book has it. If anything, it's got a tiny bit more fold over there. Yep. And then gently slide the ribbon towards the centre of the needle so the rose will become round in shape rather than oval. Okay, gently sliding it. I think that's right. And then continue winding the ribbon in an anti-clockwise direction and putting one fold in each side until the rose is the required size. So again, I need to put a fold here and then slide it under. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. And I've got a bit of Travis here trying to form part of the rose. He thinks he is a rose. Just come back from the park with him. It's the weekend still when I'm filming this. So I guess like that. And then put another fold in and slide it under the tip again. Can be a bit hard with this in the hoop, but that's okay. So I guess we keep sliding to the centre as well so we get that round shape that they talk about. And I don't know if my first one needs to be tightened a tiny bit. Don't want to make it too tight. Then another fold and laying it flat under the needle. So you're getting a little fold, a little loop. And then another. Oops, and that time I think I definitely pulled it a little bit too much in just with my caught on my skin. So I'm just going to loosen it all up again a bit and slide it into the centre. And then another fold before I pass it under. Might use my needle again just to slide it sort of into the centre so it gets a nice shape. And then a fold again and keeping it flat against the fabric when it goes under the needle. And then fold it again and put it flat under the needle. And smush it into the centre a bit. And then another fold and put it flat under the needle. And then we'll do another one, another fold and putting it flat under the needle. I think we're almost getting to the point where I'd probably say it's got enough folds. flat. Might do a bit of smooshing in, but also a bit of just lengthening out as well with the petals. Okay, so then we need to take the ribbon to the back under one end of the spare needle, leave it dangling on the back of the work. Okay, I always hate leaving it dangling. Because we actually need it at the end to do some final stitches, so that's why it's going to ask us to leave it dangling. Okay. So I don't want to pull it tight here because I want to keep my nice rose shape, and I think what I'll do is just put it over to this side and bring it just out so it doesn't get hopefully caught when I'm going to do my other stitches. So I'm just pulling it just so it's partially out, and then we're going to grab our other threaded needle, and we are going to, on the wrong side of the work, secure the beginning of the ribbon on the back of the fabric. Well, I'd already actually secured it, but I can secure it again. So I'm just going to secure that beginning piece. And then bring the thread to the front near a fold in the center circle of ribbon. Work a tiny straight stitch to hold the fold in place. So bring the thread to the front near a fold in the center circle of ribbon. So I guess it's meaning where the needle is holding. Let's get this out of the way. I guess it wants us to work a tiny stitch to hold that fold in place, and then continue working tiny straight stitches, and let's not get the straight stitches around the needle. Tiny straight stitches at the folds in the ribbon. Remove spare needle and anchor wraps of ribbon once you've done all your tiny stitches. So I guess we keep working these little tiny stitches to hold the ribbon in place, because soon the needle will be taken out. And you want to hold all your little folds in place. I'm just having a look where they do them. It's a bit hard to tell from the book exactly where they are stitching them, but I guess it's about wherever you need to stitch to hold your ribbon shape once the needle isn't holding it. So it's probably really along that little sort of central axis. I'll probably err on the side of more stitches rather than less, just to be sure. I think I've actually put a stitch around the needle, so I might just need to fix that first. There we go. So just putting tiny little invisible stitches in place to hopefully hold everything where it needs to be held. Guessing you just need to go through each of the layers of ribbon at that sort of central fold line. And I might do the same on the other side as well, just to be sure. We've made a lot of different roses in this A to Z of embroidery. Got plenty of flowers in my repertoire now. Okay. Okay, so hopefully that's holding it now, but if we find we need any more, I'm now going to slide the needle out. Yep. There we go, and then I'm going to primp these, even though in the book they kind of are sitting over like that. I just want these to be a little bit more primpy out. Okay, happy with that. Then we rethread our silk ribbon from the back, so I'll just need to take it back to the back. In fact, I think we can tie off our thread now. I don't need more things hanging at the back than I need. Rethread our silk ribbon. And then let's pop through to the front, and we're going to work 3 overlapping straight stitches on the lower part of the rose. Okay, so I think it wants us to take some straight stitches on the lower part, except I've come through on the upper part. So I'm going to come round from here and work some straight stitches. Again, I don't know if I should worry about the windingness or let it have a little bit of wind in it. So 3 straight stitches. I think it wants some straight stitches and some extra little petals that just sit along the bottom of the rose. Like that. Oops. Maybe with a little bit more frizzazz in them. And then maybe I'll even bring one out. Even bring one through that bit of ribbon. And come around to maybe here, and I might even do another little one up the side. Again, I'm going to go rogue. I figure we're getting to the end of the book. I can go a little bit rogue and do a bit of my own thing. Surely all of this stitching is just to get us started, and then we just see where it takes us. It's about an idea, and then adapt it to your needs. And another petal. Again, I probably should just straighten that out a smidge. Bit of twist is okay, but probably better if it's mostly a straightish petal. But I think the nice thing about those ending little stitches is that it's just given it a bit of a regularity, because otherwise all the little folds in the pattern were all in the same sort of direction. So I quite like that this is just adding a bit of extra looseness to it. And I might even pop up and put another little, still got a bit of ribbon left, so I might put a stitch across this way. And again, that's probably just gone a little bit too twisty, but we can fix it. We can bring it out and then bring it back down again. And then I'll do one more around from here, I think. Get one to go. I might even overlap that into here. Quite like when the petals sort of fold into each other. I think that's a nice effect, when even nicer effect when your needle doesn't unthread itself, but should be okay to rethread. Okay, and that one got a tiny bit too tight, but it's pretty much okay. There we go, and then we'll just give these a little primp and preen at the end to get them sitting the way we want them to. And there we go, that's another type of rose, a wound ribbon rose with then some extra little straight stitches around the outside. So that's a bit of fun. Thanks so much for watching, and we only have 2 more stitches left in our A to Z of stitchery. Can you believe it? We've got woven filling stitch, and then we've got zigzag stitch. So how amazing is that? Thanks so much, and I'll see you back tomorrow for our second last. Bye everyone.